So it's good. It's good to be up here. It's really good to be up here. I've missed it. This is my private little place where I target shoot. As you can hear, some people are doing it out here. This is probably 15 miles deep. Not very far from Falls City, Oregon. I could tell you where the spot is now. I used to not reveal that because everybody would come up here and hunt or shoot, target shoot, and make a mess. And I had a little cool place where I would do it and always clean my mess. And I was up there recently, or just now, and it's a mess. It's just crazy. So I want to talk about what I think AI is on an evolutionary, what's the word? I don't know. Evolution is happening, let's just put it that way. And it's part of evolution, whether we like it or not. And I think ever since the pandemic, that gave people time to chill, but most people didn't because they were worried about money. And a lot of people can't sit still for long periods of time. And so in the future, AI is taking a lot of jobs. It's going to do a lot of calculations about business, money, future, projections, all these things. And I really believe it's nature, God, divine, whatever you want to call it, giving us a reason to sit more still. In my times of meditating in the mountains, what I discovered, and it took 4 months to calm down. And that was in 2007 when I left that whole experience. To this day, I don't stress the way people do. I don't have anxiety the way people do. And I watch some of the biggest YouTubers out there, and they're talking about, let me get this centered. They're talking about, everybody's feeling low energy. Do you all feel the same way? Those are really popular channels. It's all down attitude, depression, anxiety, hopelessness, lack of faith. Or you have your super religious people that just go way too far up there. And they aren't grounded as much. And so they choose to not be here. They'd rather be up there. And the way the Buddhist monks teach is the middle ground, have one eye in the sky, one on the ground. And that's really all there is to it. So balance. And I think what AI is going to do is help people, whether they like it or not have to work so much. There's benefits to this. Because we're just coming out of the go-getter generation, the super hyperactive, let's all get rich, get way ahead of the game, so we get everybody racked up their credit. And most people today are 2 months away from being homeless, no matter how hard they worked. And COVID really messed that up too. And it's designed to mess it up. I believe that nature, evolution, and if you believe in reincarnation, think about this. What was it? There was only a few 100 million people on this planet, 100 years, 200 years ago, whatever. And now we're above 8 billion people. So a lot of people aren't transcending. They keep coming back for more, right? And we get here, we get caught in the matrix, we get caught in the trap. 12 years of school, then you choose to go to college and end up doing something you'll never do. Like over 60% of people never practice what they went to college for. And then this cookie cutter industrial revolution, which we're out of that now. You're supposed to get married. You're supposed to have 2 kids, preferably a girl and a boy, for you, the boy, and for the wife, the girl. You buy a house. You get 2 cars, maybe 3, a toy. You get a couple of pets, and you go through the process, and you watch your kids grow up. And there's nothing wrong with this. I'm saying there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And for me, it never went that way. Never worked for me. And I could speculate why. It's just in my nature. And, we're not all the same. And now we're out of the Industrial Revolution. AI, robotics is replacing a lot of jobs, doing a much better job, super diligent. precise. I'm now using AI for descriptions on my video and thumbnails, and it really does help because there's so many. I get, it's like so many things I want to put for a thumbnail, and try to perfect this. And it's helped a lot. So, but I want to share something. I think it's not going to be real positive for a lot of people, and I'm just being brutally honest. I don't suffer the way most people do. I just don't. I don't feel, yes, I have lack of energy sometimes. When I experience depression, I've learned through sitting still for a super long period of time in meditation. And if you sit still in depression, nothing distracting you. Don't look at your phone. Don't look at TV. Don't call somebody. Literally face it and sit still. And everybody's different. I don't know how long it's going to take, but you will notice that you're not your thoughts of depression. This movie running through your head, worried about the future, maybe regretting some things in the past. You don't know what you're going to do today, and you feel like you're losing your mind. And I'm telling you, lose your mind. It's not what you think. Because you will see in time, you're not your mind. And you hear this over and over from people, but I'm telling you from experience that ever since my time in the mountains meditating for that 4 to 6 hours a day for a year, I don't suffer the same way people do. And now there's like a tribe of people now coming together. And it's like the only common ground everybody has in this tribe is, I'm not feeling good. I'm depressed. I'm having anxiety attacks. I don't know what to do. I feel hopeless. I feel no love in the air, no romance in the air. And many people will go, yeah, I feel the same way. I thought that was just me. Wow, let's get together. And if that's what it takes to get people back together, that's wonderful. But who's going to be the one to pull you out of that? Instead of reinforcing each other's depression, anxiety, reasons, logical reasons why you may not be as happy as you need to be. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is happiness is a decision. But maintaining happiness is not practical. We all know this. So what can we do to replace this thing called happiness that we can't seem to maintain? And Jordan Peterson said it, but I've said it for years, since my meditation time. Be up for the adventure, good or bad. You can enjoy even the bad times if you look at like an adventure. I went to the dentist a few months ago. They pulled this tooth. It's just beautiful. I hate it because I'm a little bit shallow that way. We all like to look good, and that's where ego should be, is taking care of yourself. But I've never been to a dentist. 58 years old, I went to the dentist first time in my life, and they had to pull a tooth. And I had a fear at first, and everybody's telling me the smells of drilling and all these things. When I went into the office that morning, or the dentist's office, it's an office, I made up my mind to enjoy the adventure. It's something you've never been through before. And it really was that simple. And I did actually find it fascinating. I couldn't feel anything. I did smell when he had a drill in a couple of areas. It did feel him doing everything he can to yank the tooth out. And, but there wasn't any pain. So maybe I went to a good dentist. I don't know. It was a little bit he had in the back there, and he had to renumb it. But I told him when I was done, that is just fascinating. That's really interesting. I kind of enjoyed it. I know that sounds crazy, but you got to have a little bit of a sick sense of humor. God does. Nature does. Watch nature. Watch what they do. They do some horrid things. And because they're animals, and that's what they do, especially when they're out in the wilderness. But they have a sick sense of humor, and you should too. Why not? It's just one of those things that attitude is everything, and that's the one thing you can change. You can't change the dynamics of life. You can count on certain things like the sun rising and setting, but you don't even know that to be true, right? And so, how do you stay at peace all the time? It's just be present. I know you've heard me say it 1,000 times, and have faith And that's a word, I'm not religious. I believe in source. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. Absolutely. But so many people lack faith. And I watch some of the biggest practitioners of the Bible and God, and they'll say things like, hey, I feel for you out there who's struggling in life. I don't know what's going on, but just know I care because I'm going through the same thing myself. Well, I was always taught never take advice from somebody more messed up than you. I know that sounds messed up, but I have very few people ask me that know me personally, and they see I can back up what I'm saying. How do you do it? You don't ever seem depressed. You always seem cool. Maybe you're just being cool and it's fake. I'm like, no, it's not fake. It's real. I rode up here today up in the mountains. My thoughts were, I don't want to get the dirt bike all muddy because I'm selling it. It's just sitting there, and I'll go ride. It's warmer today than it has been. And now it was raining and muddy, and the bike is all gooey now, but I feel exhilarated to the point where I might not even sell it. Maybe that's what Source has been doing. Maybe that's why I haven't got the title, which should have been here 2 weeks ago. Because I truly enjoy having it, but there's other things I can do with this money that I think I want to do. And that's not happening. So here I am riding, and I'm up in my place up here, and I feel fantastic, and it feels very personal between God and me. I crave more and more time with just me and nature, me and Source, to just be up here, because it's always okay. It's beautiful. It's absolutely amazing. I love this time of year. You got the fog rolling in back there, strong smells of sugar pine. The temperature is perfect. It's like 54 degrees. The misty rain, it's not hard rain, it's just a mist. It's just perfect. I feel fantastic. And I'm glad I did this. I'm so glad I did this. And I had no plans for this today. None whatsoever. This was not a plan. I just looked at my bike when I got back to the RV. It's been sitting under my awning for a month. And I'm like, why aren't you riding it? You have all the gear. You can throw everything together in 10 minutes and go hit the trails. And it ended up here, and I feel this desire to make a video just talking about a few things. AI is part of evolution. It may look like it's working against us, and for the elites, our privacy is gone. Propaganda, consuming. The only people who are really benefiting in the 3D world from this are people that are just money motivated and power motivated. But we have to look at it at a whole different level, a whole different frequency. As Elon Musk predicted, that work will be an option in the future. So what's going to happen? Yeah, it can become the future shock city. There's a book out called Future Shock, and it talks about nobody works anymore. There's a movie about it called THX 1138. They worked in that movie. But what they want to sell is, you don't even have to file your taxes. It's all done automatically. You don't have to work unless you want to. And yes, the government will just give you tokens or credits for food and stuff. It's just not freedom. It's awful. And yeah, we should fight everything in that we can to live in the wildness, the wilderness of freedom versus the enslavement of safety. So, but to me, this is the reason why we're alive. And life is not as long as we think it is. So what's really going on? What's really going on? Why are we here? We watch birth, we watch aging, and we watch death. And it's ironic that yesterday I got to talk to a very old friend of mine. I've known him since I was 16 years old, and I haven't talked to him in a while. And he had 2 deaths in his family, both of his fathers, like in the last couple of weeks, I think, couple of months. And we start seeing life taking things away from us. And as I said to him, which I discovered myself watching relatives pass and friends pass and just life, There is a positive in the experience of watching loved ones die. It's a tough one, but there is an inner voice saying, you better really live. You better really live and stop playing it safe. That's what the Industrial Revolution sold to you. That's what future shock, the future world is going to sell to you. And if we just get off both sides, get off the ride, and just be here, right now. Somehow I ended up here today. And it's so peaceful and quiet. And when I say I'm grateful for life, it's not because I'm supposed to say that. I really feel grateful for my horrible decisions I made over the last year, especially. You know, no, you don't know. I don't know. It's just an Italian thing. I say, hey. So, obviously I'm not pursuing a career with my YouTube channel as a content creator because I've got over 300 videos and 515 subscribers. But it's interesting, the people that are watching my videos have an appreciation for my art, have an appreciation for the videos and the content I make. What's interesting is they are a very small percentage of a certain personality. Some of them are very financially comfortable and free. Some of them have really relinquished possessions, and they're still exploring. And there's very little advice out there that's credible. There's a lot of people that are talking about the same thing I am. They're doing it in a seminar forum, a book forum. And I've met a few of them in real life, and I hear their stories. I tell you what, man, I hear some of these people that do seminars. I know them personally, some of them, and they talk about their tragic times in life, which changed their life completely, and then they become a success. Were things like they ran out of gas one day and they had to walk 5 miles to get gas. That's all it took for them. And my being raised a little tougher on a ranch and being a gypsy and moving as often as I have, living all over this country and Mexico, and some pretty tough jobs, but also a lot of success. I'm like, you're such a pussy. And that's all it took you? I could have wrote 50 books by now. But I'm just in the adventure. I believe in things organically coming together. After losing everything 3 times in my life, in my adult life, after the 3rd time, I'm like, it wasn't anything I did. It was just bad timing. The real estate market crashed in 2007. Then 2008, the Black Monday, is that what it was called? I don't know. I don't keep up on this stuff. And then I've had corporate jobs that, I take. I'm there for only 4 months in one place. I get laid off because they merged with another company. Then I get another corporate job, and the RV industry crashed, so I was laid off within 8 months, and it doesn't bother me. I'm grateful for this stuff because I like who I've become, and I like that I'm having to live in the faith of the present moment. It's scary, and it's designed to be that way. That's the adventure in life, is just pay attention to what sits before you and not in the mind. Yeah, you've got to use the mind to strategize some things, but not your entire existence. And if you just flow, free yourselves and start looking left and looking right and looking up more often and looking down and, just touching the motorcycle, just, looking at me walking, looking at I'm here. And this leaves me open for opportunities. I have to do this. I have to grab. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. Maybe you do. This is sugar pine. And camping, I've made a tea out of this stuff. It's fantastic. Super. It'll detox you. If you're not careful, you'll get the runs. This should be a perfume. I mean, it's just so Christmas. You know that smell of the Christmas tree? If you don't have a fake one. It's so quiet. It's so quiet every time I go out into the wilderness, when I ride out in the wilderness ride. Ding, ding. It feels like all these trees are listening to me. Like they're somehow listening to me. And if you sit still enough, you can hear them say something back like, wow, it's about time you paid attention. And that's called losing your mind. But there's some truth to it. It is a living entity in this dimension. It gives us something we need, and we give it something it needs. To build homes. No, I'm kidding. It's a bad joke. Oxygen. And it quiets me down big time. You know? Makes me want to move. You know, usually when I'm out in the woods, every time I would come out in the woods, I'd start running. You know how kids are always running everywhere, 10-year-olds. Why did we stop doing that? And if I sit out here long enough, I'll start doing weird things. Like I'll pick up a stick and I'll break the branches off. And then all of a sudden it turns into a golf club, and I'll see a pine cone and I'll start golfing with pine cones, And here, I'll show you. I'm just kind of getting into the groove now. Oh, look at that. I didn't pull it right. Let's see here. No, I need a good one right here. There we go. It's pretty good taste. It's kind of wheat. Might be. I know it's strange, isn't it? This is called losing your mind. I know it looks spiritually weird to some of you. Well, you need to get a little more spiritually weird. Source isn't ruining your life. Evolution isn't ruining your life. Evolution comes out of devastation and minds that have no control or think they have control. And so the mind wants to make things that are easier and quicker, more convenient. And it's like we're almost instinctively trying to, in evolution, free ourselves up, not have to work as much as we used to, more time. And the sleepy ones are just, building these things. And then when you find out one day, like when COVID hit, the pandemic, whatever you want to call it, I probably should mute that. A lot of people went crazy that had plenty of money to ride it out. And they just didn't know what to do with their time. It takes all kinds. I'm not saying everybody is the same, but, we're meant to play. I think the more we smile and play and see that you are in the Garden of Eden, this is it. This is a part of heaven. You're already in heaven. And I like what Byron Katie says. If you died and went to heaven with the same attitude you have about being alive, would it still be heaven? Think about that. It starts with one thing to commit to yourself, to say to yourself, Just one thing. It started with me years ago. I'm deciding to just be happy. Done. Done deal. Done. It's not a contest with anybody else or yourself. You just remind yourself, I'm deciding to be happy. It starts with that. And then you move into, you know what, I've been busting my ass off and not getting anywhere, maybe getting somewhere, and then something happens, you lose everything. There's always this Murphy's Law pulling the carpet from under your feet. Forcing. And then as you get older and wiser, you start saying, you know what, I want to live on the path of least resistance. Because I need to do that so I can maintain the commitment I made to myself of just being happy, choosing to be happy. Even when people die that you love, even when you're sick, even when money isn't as abundant, even when you have so much money, there's a dark side to that too. I choose to be happy. I choose to be happy. It's a choice. And you'll watch people filter out of your life that can't keep up with that. You'll get ridiculed for it sometimes. You seem so cold and hard. It's like, no, I just chose to be happy. I'm sorry that what happened to you and how you choose to look at life, the only thing you can control. You feel it's more important to suffer because that's more real. No. You could look at it this way. Jesus, let's use him as the example, chose to be love. You can do the same thing. You can choose to surrender and just be here. And then find out what happens on the adventure of it. Is it true? The more faith I have into the present moment, which is the only reality we know. That's the funny part. That I'm going to maintain happiness. It takes effort. And then once you get skillful at it, you'll just maintain happy. There'll be tragic things that happen, concerns, money, not enough time, too busy. You have to be a little crazy. Especially to become wealthy, a rags to rich person, you have to be a little crazy. You can't take everything so seriously. You know, it's so serious, it's not serious. That is what builds a leader. And you can't fake it. People could tell if you're faking, oh yeah, I'm happy. Yeah. It's crazy. You have to remind yourself of what you have and be grateful for what you have and the people in your life that are proactive with you, and then choose to live a life with the least amount of resistance possible, like water in a river goes around the rock. But after that, there's another level, and I talked about it in my last video, and this one's so easy, it's the most difficult thing to do, is decide to live a life with no resistance. Why are you resisting? The real adventure in life is to find, by using your sixth sense, your experiences in life, the path of no resistance. You're here perfectly on time. You already know everything you need to know. It's built inside of you. And if you want to unleash that, you've got to get out of your way. And the best way to get out of your way is to just be here. You can come to the spot. I'll tell you how to get here if this is the here you want to come to. I'm sure a lot of you would love to be here right now. I don't care if you're in prison. Be here. Notice, watch, observe, touch the walls, whatever. Just be present. And then you find out through wisdom and experience that you can't maintain happiness all the time. But one thing nobody could take away from you is your peace. That's the biggest fight between men and women today, and that's probably why I've been single for 21 years. And this doesn't apply to everybody, so don't get all schmarmy weird on me. Don't get all cranky and pissy. But women chase happiness. They just want to be happy. I want to be happy. And when they feel happy, they come running to you, and you might be in the other room just spacing out. You're a man. Men just want peace. And you might be just looking out a window, not looking at your phone, just kind of spacing off like men do. And she's going to come running in because she's feeling happy and she wants to share that feeling of happiness. And she'll come running into the room and look at you going, why is he so happy? I came here to make you happy. I'm happy. Good. No, I'm waiting for a reaction. I'm just at peace. Uh-oh, here we go. So I'm not going to get into all that. Maybe I'll make a video. Tell me if you want me to make a video on why I ended up single for 21 years. I don't chase women. I did many, many years ago as a player, and what I did to stop becoming a player, that's a whole different story in itself. And me personally, why having a girlfriend or a wife is just not going to work for me. And it's hard to imagine that for a lot of people, because that's just me. That's just me. And if you want to make a video on this topic, I'd be happy to. I don't chase women. If I see I'm attracted to, I love women. They're especially beautiful women. I mean, how can you not look at that interesting art made by God itself? But I know the danger zones. I'm experienced with that, and I've learned how to turn that off. And it's not important to me. Have I, in the 21 years, played a little bit here and there? Yeah, I've played. I can't lie. But very few times in 21 years. And so I'm just an open book here. So I'm not going to edit this. I'm going to keep my mistakes in there, and these long pauses and my bad grammar, because my mouth is dry and I'm missing a tooth now. So some of the words don't sound right. What an adventure getting older. And I know the trick to staying awake, not feeling so tired in the middle of the day, which I most definitely feel. Sometimes it's unavoidable. So go take a nap. That works sometimes too. I was starting to feel tired today. Like this time of the year, I get real tired around 2 o'clock because I'm up at 4 a.m. most of the time. And I was like, I don't want to be tired. The sun doesn't stay up long enough. I know what I could do to wake up. Go ride the bike. I'm wide awake right now. Altering your state by using the skills that you have, not drugs, and keep chasing that romance in the air. I'm going to flip the camera. Keep chasing that romance in the air. It's always there for you. Unfortunately for me, I didn't have to drive very far to be out here. Chase the romance. Not through somebody else. Just that amazing feeling. This gift called life that you need to stop taking for granted. Pay attention to it, and it'll pay attention to you. I think all our answers are in nature. And part of evolution is mankind trying to create things to distract us from that. This is all part of the learning experience of life, I believe. Yeah, that's all I have to say. And now I'm going to go ride. I'm glad it hasn't sold yet. Take care.